Let me lower my hand there. All right, well, good morning, everyone. We're going to slowly get started to allow everyone to finish joining us today. My name is Tanya Torres. I'm a Donor Egg Bank USA specialist here, joined by Dana Blufarb this morning. And welcome to our live webinar series. We are looking forward to this engaging session. I have a few notes to mention, and we can go to the next slide. All right. I'd like to mention that we encourage everyone to anonymously submit questions that they have in our Q&A box. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, there's a bar with some options, and there is a Q&A box that you can pop open. And so you have the option to submit questions here. There is a check mark if you want to post your question anonymously. And at the end of our presentation today, we will go ahead and answer those questions. All right. So today we will be discussing, we're going to have just a short little introduction about Donor Egg Bank USA and who we are. We're going to welcome Dana Blufarb. She is a mother via egg donation, and she's an author and voice behind At Cracking the Family Code. Lastly, we're going to have a short overview of our financial plans, including our live birth guarantee, and that will be with me. And as I mentioned, we'll end with our live Q&A session. All right. So a little bit about Donor Egg Bank USA. We're the #1 egg bank in the US. We've been around since 2012, and we've performed more than 13,000 egg warmings and have helped almost 10,000 families. We have one of the largest catalogs in the industry with 400 plus qualified donors. All of them are FDA eligible, and available for selection live on our database. They've all received extensive genetic testing, psychological, and infectious disease screening. So they have gone through the rigorous testing required by any physician in order for you to be able to move forward with your treatment. Additionally, we offer a blastocyst guarantee on every plan, and our live birth guarantee plan goes beyond the blastocyst guarantee in offering you the additional peace of mind of a live birth or your money back. And last but not least, we have a team of family building consultants who are the ones who answer the phones when you call in, and they're ready to help all of you along the way with questions about steps to take, searching our database, costs, and even just guidance of what to expect next and what other clients have done in the past. So we are eager to hear from you and to assist you, and we look forward to connecting with you all soon. Okay, so welcome, Dana. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. I want to say hi, everyone. Thank you to Deb so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here today. As Tanya mentioned, my name is Dana Blufarb. A little bit about my background. I started my career in education, and I've always known that I wanted to be a mom. A mom through egg donation, and my journey to parenthood was really unique. Not just in our family building, but in my own personal story as well. I'm the author of 2 children's books, one about family building and the other about egg donation. And I'm the voice behind Cracking the Family Code on Instagram. I work in the nonprofit world on the operations side, supporting individuals and their families navigating addiction. and related mental health concerns. But really today I'm here to talk about my path to parenthood. I share my story because I know the decision to use an egg donor can feel really scary and overwhelming, but my hope is that hearing about my experience can make it feel a little easier on you, and help anyone considering this path feel less alone and more confident in building the family that they really want. I kind of mentioned that I have a unique situation. I'm adopted, which is unique in itself. I remember my parents sharing with me from a very young age about what adoption was. I remember reading books and having conversations with my family. And this really early perspective gave me a broader understanding of what family can look like. It's also part of the reason I decided to write a children's book about egg donation, and the unique ways families are built. So because kids and parents alike can see that family is really about love and it's not just about biology. If you want to just go to the next slide. So this is a little bit about us and our path. We got married in 2017. My husband and I had always known that we wanted to have kids, so we started trying shortly after getting married. In 2018 and 2019, we experienced our first and second pregnancy losses. These were unassisted pregnancies, meaning that they happened without any medical intervention. Then, of course, in 2020, we all know what happened. The pandemic came. And during that time, we also experienced our third pregnancy loss. Around that time, we really thought about what our next steps were, and we decided to go to a fertility clinic here in Toronto just to do some testing and to see what might be going on. When things started to open back up, I ended up doing 3 IUI cycles, but unfortunately, none of those were successful. And after that, we moved on to IVF. I did 2 egg retrievals and had 3 failed transfers, 2 of them being chemical pregnancies and 1 miscarriage. By 2021, we kind of paused on IVF with my own eggs and really decided to explore different options. So we looked at embryo donation, we looked at adoption, and ultimately we really began seriously considering egg donation. You know, before moving forward, we decided to switch fertility clinics. Sometimes happens. And we ended up working with an incredible female-run clinic in Markham, here in Ontario. Through that clinic, we were introduced to Donor Egg Bank. Our donor and surrogacy coordinator at that clinic was incredible. She really guided us through the process and helped us consider what the best approach would be. And of course, you know, calling Donor Egg Bank, that first initial call was incredible. We had a conversation with one of their reps and really understood the different plans. We ended up going with the assurance plan because we wanted that live birth guarantee, and we are so thankful that we did. Our first donor egg lot gave us 7 eggs, which yielded 1 embryo, and unfortunately that transfer was unsuccessful. And then in early 2022, we revisited what we were looking for in a donor. The first time we had primarily gone off of physical appearance, but the second time we worked with the genetic counselor at our clinic and spoke to Deb on really, they gave us guidance on what to consider in selecting a donor. Then we selected our second donor. We ended up with 5 incredible embryos, which is amazing. And one of those embryos is our son, who we welcomed in late 2022. In I'd say early to mid 2024, I decided to begin sharing our story publicly on my Instagram page, Cracking the Family Code, because I really wanted to share our experience with egg donation and family building, with the hope that sharing our story could help others feel less alone and make this path a little easier for them. If you want to just go to the next slide. When we began looking at egg donation, I was trying to wrap my head around like this part of the journey. It was incredibly hard. I had to grieve the loss of a genetic connection. It wasn't just about biology, but it was really letting go of that long held expectation of, seeing my face on my child's face, wondering what they would look like or what traits they would inherit. Like I mentioned before, I'm in a unique situation because I was adopted and I never really had that genetic connection for myself. And I really wanted that piece for me, and it was something that I really craved. And I was worried that going the egg donation route, that I wasn't going to have that with my child. And there were feelings of guilt and sadness, even shame about it, not because of the decision to use egg donation, but because I had to work hard to feel peace about it. I didn't arrive at this easily, and it wasn't easy for my husband. There were a lot of back and forth conversations. I reached out to like a wonderful community on social media of like other egg donation recipients, couples, single parents by choice. Through that support and after coming to terms with like the heartbreak of the losses and what ifs, I really gave my permission to myself to like let go of the genetic piece. And that's when I started to create the space to truly like celebrate what was going on and how exciting this was. And, don't get me wrong, when I was pregnant, I still had fears. Like would I feel connected when they were here? Would they look like me? Would they inherit traits? I was worried about all of that. But over time, like I learned that the connection goes way further than just the genetics. If you want to go to the next slide. Like I mentioned, I decided to share my story publicly because it's really helped me process egg donation and everything that comes with it. My goal is to normalize donor conception and infertility. I want to help others feel seen, supported, and hopeful that their experience with family building can be a wonderful thing. Fertility is always going to be part of my story. It's always going to be part of my husband's story and my son's story, and that's great. When I decided to go the egg donor route, I started sharing with the safest people in my life, so my friends and my family. I really also had to prepare myself for mixed reactions because some people didn't really understand. I heard a lot of, it's not going to be your child. And I had to remind myself that, like, this is my story to tell. Now that my son is here and we're on the other side of things, we've done a lot of open conversations with him. He's still really little, he's only 2.5. I've written 2 books about it. It was always a dream of mine to write books, being an education for kids. We do a lot of talking about it. We say, you came from an egg, someone donated eggs to us, and we're so excited, for you to come into the world, and it really helped us. Just like age appropriate conversations, because I want him to feel happy and prideful that, how he came to be in our family because he is so special. And honestly, little did I know that when writing Hatching Happiness, my son would become obsessed with dinosaurs. The book has dinosaur characters in it, and it's something that he loves to read almost nightly. And it's just a beautiful way to connect our story and, our values and the joy of like how we built our family. If you want to go to the next slide. I connect with a lot of couples, individuals who are considering egg donation. And the first thing I always tell them is find your community. Start sharing with the safest people. Make connections with egg donor parents and really hear their stories because everyone's journey is so different. I also say that educating yourself on what egg donation really is. It's not just paying for eggs and having a baby. It goes beyond that. Take the time to think about what's most important for you in a donor. If you want to just go to the next slide. Um, things that I looked at were genetics, physical traits, whether they have a live birth themselves or have been a previous donor before. All of these details matter. I'm always happy to connect with anybody to share what I've learned. I'm sure Deb is, your fertility clinic. The biggest piece of advice that I can give as a whole is, really lean into the journey, even the scary parts, because the what ifs don't ever completely go away, but they do get quieter in the background. And being on the other side of this, I can truly say that I don't see my son as coming from someone else's eggs. I really see him as an extension of me, and he really is my whole heart, and my husband's too. But it's really embracing, your dream of family building and creating your own story, whether you're choosing one donor or several donors. Like, there are incredible people that work at Deb, to guide you through the process, from, I mentioned, from my initial call to receiving, information about their packages, and then receiving the egg lot at the clinic. They were truly fantastic to work with. And I share my story because so many people walk this path in silence, and we really need to normalize donor conception and break the stigma around fertility. I wish, looking back at this, I had a future me to look at when I was in it. Someone that could show the joy that can follow grief, and that every family story is valid no matter how you build it. And it's just an incredible thing about, egg donor and the whole process. And I know I talked a lot, but I really want to thank you guys for letting me share my journey with you, because I hope that by sharing my story, both, the joys and challenges, I can really help normalize donor conception, break that stigma around infertility, and let anyone considering this path know that this is like, you're not alone. There are many people that go this route, and family can look so many different ways, and really like lean into this journey and embrace the unexpected, and know that joy can, it can happen at the end.
Dana, thank you so much for that. I love seeing and I love seeing your story, and especially your book with the dinosaurs. I know that that is probably such an amazing way to connect with your son. Thank you. All right, everyone. So we're gonna go ahead and have a little summary about the plan options that we have available here at Donor Egg Bank USA. Let's go ahead and hop to the next slide. So we have two live birth guarantee plans. These are called the Assured Refund Plan and our Multi-Egg Lot Refund Plan. Both of these options are protected by not only our blastocyst guarantee, but they're protected by a live birth guarantee or your money back, meaning that when you enter this plan, you are going to be provided with multiple egg lots potentially as needed. And the goal is to achieve a live birth while you're in it. In the rare event that a live birth is not achieved, you're protected in that you would get 100% of your money back. But I can gladly say that the majority of our clients, I want to say that it's over 90% of our clients, are going to find success in this plan and be able to have their live birth and their baby to love. The wonderful thing about this plan, besides those two already, or three already wonderful benefits, is that you also have the option to withdraw yourself in the event that as you're going through the process, just physically or emotionally, you feel like it's not the one you want to stick with. But again, 90% of our clients are going to find success. So The people who withdraw themselves or the people who don't find success are very few, if not very rare. And um, our family building consultants are here to assist you through this process. There is a qualification process in order to participate in either of these plans. But that also the majority of our clients are eligible. You've probably already done the screenings or testing that we're looking for to determine your eligibility to participate. So we just encourage you, if you're interested in this refund plan, that you go ahead and apply and we'll take care of the rest. We'll take care of communicating with your clinic and get you moving forward and finding out what next steps can be taken. Okay. We also have three additional plans that are also just as wonderful. We have our single cycle, our single egg lot, and our double egg lot plans that all are protected by our blastocyst guarantee. Choosing these plans, I would say, is dependent on kind of what the journey you're looking for. So I really encourage you talking to our family building consultants about what your thoughts or plans are, how you envision this journey so that we can help you plan best for what you're looking for doing. Um, we have our single cycle plan, which is a plan that offers eggs, but also treatment at your clinic. And that's something I didn't mention in the previous slide about our assured refund plan, that it is a bundle plan that offers treatment at your clinic as well. So you would not only receive eggs from Donor Egg Bank USA, but when you have completed paying your package to us, the services at your clinic would already be taken care of and bundled into that cost. So there's a little bit of money saving opportunity there. Um, then we have our single egg lot, which is just eggs. It's just what it sounds like. And it's an opportunity to transfer a good blastocyst. I would say also for those of you who have progeny insurance, your benefits, if you have benefits for donor egg, they would be used with this single egg lot plan. So excellent benefit to find out if you are eligible for. And lastly, our double egg lot plan, which is just what it sounds like. It's two egg lots, guarantee of two blastocysts or more. And we have several benefit partners, fertility benefit partners, such as Progeny that I mentioned, Carrot, Stork Club. So if you are a member and you have fertility benefits through your job, let us know so that we can make sure to apply any of those benefits to your plan when you're moving forward with us. Some of these do require a referral, but again, we can help you navigate that process should you be eligible for it. And financing. We know financing is an important piece of this process for many of us. We are happy to work with several partners. We have a new partner, PatientFi. We work with CapEx MD, Medicard iFinance, which is in Canada. We work with Future Family and Arc Fertility. All of these you would speak with independently, but all of them work with Donor Egg Bank USA so that you can finance your payments should that be an option that you need to explore. And just to close, we are here for you no matter where you are in this journey. Our family building consultants are here. Um, they're really eager to help everyone who calls in. We have a team who's just excellent. A lot of people who have been here for several years and just really have care for all of our clients who are going through this process anywhere they are in the process and want to be able to educate and give you information, help you prepare, help you plan, and get you on your way. So be sure you can visit our website. We have a chat feature on there if you wanted to reach out to someone. I always encourage clients to call in. We're here Monday through Friday, 9 to 9 p.m., 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. I think calling is going to always, you're going to ask one question, but it's going to open up that conversation to more questions and help you feel more confident about the next steps that you're going to take. And you can always email us as well, and we have a contact us page on our website too. We really want to hear from you. If you register or you message us, we're also happy to give you a call if you feel more comfortable with that. Okay. And we've gotten to our Q&A session. I do see that we have some questions already lined up. Let's see. Okay. So we do have some questions about the live birth guarantee, if it is the same as a euploid guarantee. It is not actually. Our live birth guarantee is one of our financial plans. That would be our assured refund plan or our multi-egg lot refund plan. We have something called a euploid guarantee or a euploid supplement. We know that some people would like to do PGT testing on their embryos. And so if that's something that you're interested in, then the euploid guarantee or this euploid supplement would be an additional, it would be like an additional feature to add on to your plan, depending on which plan you're choosing. So if you're interested in PGT testing, please let us know so that we can best guide you on how to move forward with the specific plan that you choose. Okay. Someone asked about the requirements for the live birth guarantee. So for our live birth guarantee, we have some general requirements. Ultimately, we're gonna want to review, what we do is ask you to we ask you to sign a medical release, and that way we can reach out to your clinic and just ask them to complete an evaluation. But what we're really looking for is there general normal function of the uterus? Have you achieved an 8 mm lining in the past? We are looking for, we do have a BMI cutoff of 40. And you're, no major obstructions. Yeah, that's really what we're looking for. The way that we ask that information of your clinic is we're gonna ask them, has there been an evaluation done of the uterus? When did it take place? And so that will allow us to evaluate and determine your eligibility. Something I mentioned earlier is the nice thing is that most people qualify. And even if you don't, maybe let's say like maybe you haven't had a recent evaluation, um, that can always take place and we can always review you again for being approved into the plan. But I don't want to discourage anyone. I think the bottom line is I'm not the one who's the reviewer and the one who makes the determination. So I encourage you to apply if you're interested in that plan. I would say that there's a good chance that you can probably be approved to participate. Let's see. I think there's a question for you, Dana, after that one. Let's see here. Um, what steps to arriving at peace and letting go? What were steps to arriving to peace and letting go? And did you seek therapy, or were there any other things that helped you get there? Good question.
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think for me, it was definitely a process. It didn't happen overnight. A big piece for me was talking it through. I had a lot of conversations with my husband because we were navigating this together and just being able to share our fears, sadness, joy, everything. It really helped. Another thing was community support. I mentioned I connected with other egg donor parents through social media and online communities, hearing their stories and knowing that I wasn't alone made a huge difference. Personally, for me, therapy was a big thing. I did therapy all throughout my IVF and fertility journey. It just gave me a safe space to process grief and conflicting emotions. And it really um, helped me, give myself permission to feel all the feels and all the emotions, the sadness, the guilt, the fear. That was really key. And once I was, I allowed myself to process that fully, I was able to make the space to celebrate what we were building. It wasn't one single thing. It was, a combination of support, reflection, and giving myself grace. And I would say the process itself is part of the journey because it just makes the joy at the end even sweeter. That was a really great question. Thank you.
And I think that, and I know that there are clinicians who specifically work in this field who have worked with patients who are going through IVF or have had loss in the past. So it would be great to get aligned with someone like that to help as well. Yeah. Okay, let's see. We have another question here. Um, do you have a single lot plan? And are there any guarantees with this plan if you offer it? So we do have a single lot egg lot plan. We offer a blastocyst guarantee, which means a blastocyst that's of quality that your clinic would either freeze it, transfer it, or biopsy it. In the event that it doesn't reach that quality, your clinic would request a replacement egg lot, and you'd be able to choose another egg lot from our database. So that would be the guarantee that protects you in our single egg lot plan. In addition to that, the UPLID supplement that was mentioned earlier, if you're planning on PGT testing, that is an option to add to our single egg lot plan. That would also protect you and give you additional opportunities with eggs in case your first egg lot does not result in any euploid embryos. We have someone. What plan do you recommend if you are hoping to have more than one child? That's a tough one because everybody's outcome is different. Even Dana, you mentioned in between your two donor cycles, you had far different results. And it's really difficult to pinpoint and plan. Uh, I always try to encourage people to think of it in this sense of if you are seeking an egg lot or even in our refund plan that gives you the opportunity for multiple tries, um, the goal is going to be, one child, but it's going to vary for everyone just depending on so many different factors. We really don't know, an exact number for any specific person. But I can tell you that the refund plan, it's giving you that guarantee. We're either going to help you reach that live birth or you're going to be getting a refund. And the majority of people are going to achieve that live birth. What we don't know is you might have remaining embryos and you might have remaining tries after that, or you might have just one. That's kind of we don't know how to determine that, but there is opportunity there. So I would say give us a call. We can talk through. We do have a double egg lot plan if you want to try to maximize the number of embryos you have. But I think like lots of planning and discussing on like what to expect from any cycle would be important with you. Thank you. Um, you have a question here. So you have access to the Q&A still, Dana? I think there's a question for you here.
I
I don't
do
know if you
a
have
bit,
one.
yeah. Um, So someone asked, is it easy to love and accept a baby that wasn't yours? I'm struggling with the fact it wouldn't be genetically mine. I completely understand where you're coming from, and those feelings are so real and valid. For me, it wasn't, automatically easy. Loving a baby that isn't genetically yours takes time, reflection, and a lot of processing. I had to grieve, as I mentioned, the loss of a genetic connection, and really let go of the expectations I had imagined about traits, and family resemblance. Now I'm getting that he looks exactly like my husband, which I love, but it's still hard to hear. And I think, what helped me and is helping me, going through this is leaning into how much love I have for him. And, he was created with my husband, and we are a family unit. And allowing myself to see that connection is something way more than biology. Therapy, conversations with my husband, connecting with other egg donor parents really helped me go through that. And over time, I'm not saying that it ever goes away, but those feelings are definitely quieter. And I realized that he is very much my child. He is exactly like me. He's routine. He's like me. Um, and it's more about the bond that you build with them and the role that you play as a parent. And for me, love and acceptance came from recognizing the family that we were building and the life that we were creating, and the joy that came with it, not just the genetics.
If I may, we do have an article that talks about epigenetics and that connection that there, just even by being a part of carrying your baby. I do see you listed your name, so I will try and get one of our family building consultants to send you some information on that to share with you as well. And that kind of segues into another question that was asked. I if there are specific social media sites, pages that you find helpful, I always talk about Resolve just because I think that they're resolve.org. They have a lot of great resources. They have groups that meet. But of course, I think sometimes social media also could be a little bit easier I don't know if you have any, for sure you need to follow Dana. Uh,
Thank you. I do. I found it really helpful to follow Victoria, forgive me for pronouncing her last name, Nino.
yeah, yes.
She's at Expecting Anything. She is also an egg donor mama, and she is incredible. She answered a lot of questions for me. Another one that I followed was Danny Rep Rep
Rep.
Repsish.
Yeah.
Yes. So she is also an egg donor mama. She's great too. She's in Canada as well. And it was really nice to hear her side of things being Canadian as well.
I'll ask our team if they can post all of our donor egg moms who share their stories on social media. That might be helpful. So I would say also follow Donor Egg Bank USA. We can probably share some information there. Awesome. Okay. Somebody asked, does previous donor and Deb on our website mean that the donor is proven? It does. If you are looking for a proven donor and you choose the previous donor as one of the filters, that will filter donors who are proven, meaning their donation has resulted in an ongoing pregnancy or live birth at some point. Trying to see if there's other questions here. Someone asked about the next steps after selecting a donor profile. We will send the donor's information to your clinic, and then we will send you agreements, payment instructions, a due date. You do have 5 business days to complete that, and we encourage you to call us if you have questions about anything you're reviewing. And once all of that is in, we can start the shipping process and we get those eggs to your clinic within 2 weeks. Your doctor would have the opportunity to review the donor's medical and genetic information. Um, Really, it's the genetic information that they're going to want to confirm is compatible with you. The lovely thing I mentioned earlier is that our donors are all screened. They're all FDA eligible. They've been screened for all these genetic and infectious diseases, and they all meet the standard and criteria that should be acceptable by your physician. So really the thing to worry about, I would say to anyone, is just are they genetically compatible? And so usually you can find that out with a genetic counselor, or sometimes your physician may take the lead in that conversation with you. Yeah, we're happy to help you in your search if you have questions about a donor that you're considering. Um, what are the chances for twins? I don't know. I think that that also probably varies. Maybe a question for a physician. I have seen people have twins through donor egg, but I have no idea how that happens, the biology part of it. I don't know if it's due to the egg, the sperm, or the mom. I don't know. Um, will I would say ask a physician for that. Now, if you're asking about implanting two embryos at once, that's absolutely a question you want to ask your physician because that would be twins as well. So doctor question there. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, article as well. Yep, we'll send that article to you as well. We don't have an in-person. Our offices are located here in Maryland, but we don't have offices in person. But we can definitely set some time to speak with you if you have questions, concerns. We really want to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable moving forward. Let's see. Someone asked if they can get a list of what the donor is screened for through their genetics testing, and that is available right on our website. Um, all of our donors have been screened, I want to say. All of them probably have screening of 176 conditions at least, but really, I want to say that most of the panels on our website are of like 280 something genetic conditions being screened or more. So all of that just, it's a growing area. We're learning more about genetics. So those panels have grown, and so we have significantly large genetic screening tests that we have completed on our donors, which is excellent for you to review with your physician. Um,
There's one more for me.
yeah.
Someone asked, do you have any resources for husbands to help their wives during this process? Um, I think it's very different going through donor egg as an identifying female than a partner. I think the biggest thing was having conversations with my husband and really being clear with him about what I needed, and knowing that he was a safe space for me to like express everything from my fears, my frustration, happiness, and really getting him to be active in participating in this process. He went to all of my appointments. He helped me with all of my medications, and he was really involved in the decision making and selection of a donor for both of our donors. And I sent him some articles from Resolve. They had some things about how to support partners, and he actually went to therapy with me when we decided to go the egg donor route. And we had conversations about how it was going to look post having a child. And really, it was more so about the communication piece for us and really being open and hearing what each of us needed.
Question for you, Dana. I was wondering, I guess, if there's anything you wish more people understood about the donor egg mom path.
I think for me, I wish that people understood that there's no right or wrong way of becoming a parent. And using donor egg doesn't make your child any less yours. You know, I often refer to it as like the love and connection aren't defined by genetics. And I wish more people really understood the emotional weight of fertility in general, not just egg donation, but fertility in general, and that it's okay to talk about this openly and share our stories and really help normalize donor conception because every story is valid. And egg donation for us and going that egg donor route was the best possible outcome because we have our son now, and it's very different. I know being in the thick of things when they're happening, but I can wholeheartedly say being on the other side of this, it is the most incredible and rewarding um, experience that you'll ever have.
Thank you. That's amazing. Any advice for anyone struggling with their feelings in this process currently?
Therapy is a great one. Talking about it, even if you don't want to talk to your partner, talking to someone else really helps. I have a close group of friends who have also gone the egg donation route. And so that's a really nice connection for us to have, being able to, have conversations about, the exact same things that we're feeling and how we're navigating that together. Um, Reaching out on social media to people. It's, asking a question. I have a lot of people asking me about my experience with Deb, and I'm an open book about it because I'm so thankful for plans like the Assurance Plan because it did give us our live birth. So, being able to just connect with people, I think that's the biggest thing.
I know a lot of people who are listening can relate, and your words are helping people probably and hopefully feel less alone. And we're really grateful for that, for your time, for being with us today. I think that is all the questions we have. So I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to say, Dana, but we just really appreciate your time and your visit with us today on our live webinar series.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to Deb and everybody who's attended this. And I'm going to do a shameless plug about my book, Hatching Happiness. You guys can get it on Amazon, and you can reach out to me on Instagram. Like I said, I'm really an open book about this. And if I can just have one conversation that, eases someone's worry about this, I'm always happy to connect. And
We
thank you, guys.
appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone, for their participation today. And again, we look forward to connecting with you all soon and answering all the questions and helping you along the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.